If somebody is cast that she doesn't like, she's openly admitted that she poisons the whole cast against people.
Yet when I went in the meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to fulfill.
Blake Lively can't hide it anymore. She's finally cracked and admitted to poisoning the entire cast against her co-star. And honestly, at this point, it's not even surprising. This is just what she does. She's pulled the same moves with other actors before, but this time, she messed with the wrong person, and it's coming back to haunt her in ways she never expected. Her carefully crafted Hollywood image is crumbling, and the backlash might be too much to recover from. Because here's the thing the internet never forgets: while she's busy dealing with a lawsuit, the internet did what it does best, dug up receipts. And what they found? Absolutely wild. A 2009 Glamour magazine interview resurfaced from 16 years ago where Blake, in her own words, admitted to sabotaging a co-star during Gossip Girl.
This is a quote from her. She was initially upset that Penn Badgley, who became her future boyfriend, got hired for the role. She said in the magazine, quote, "At first I was so upset that they hired him, I actually poisoned the whole cast against him. But then they noticed that he wasn't a jerk and was actually really nice, charming person. Almost immediately I realized that too, but it took me about a week to admit it."
Blake poisoned the cast against Penn because she didn't like him yet. Ironically, she ended up dating him. Yes, despite making his life miserable behind the scenes, they became an actual couple and stayed together for 3 years before it all fell apart. But here's where things get even messier. There are rumors that Blake also developed feelings for Justin. Maybe this entire drama is unfolding because, unlike Penn, Justin didn't reciprocate her feelings. Could it be that rejection is what truly set everything in motion? And this isn't even the first time Blake has caused problems behind the scenes. She has a long history of stirring up drama with co-stars, producers, and directors the industry knows she's difficult to work with. Just look at what happened in 2022 at the Forbes Power Women Summit. She made it very clear that she was frustrated with the industry, complaining about being seen as just an actress rather than a creative force. And sure, everyone wants creative input, but there's a big difference between contributing ideas and trying to take over the entire show.
I knew that they just wanted me to show up and look cute and stand on a little pink sticker where I'm supposed to go and say what I'm supposed to say. But I also knew that that wasn't fulfilling for me, that I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing and the costume design and creating the character.
She even admitted that while some filmmakers welcomed her ideas, others resented her for it. Her desire for creative control often rubbed people the wrong way, adding to her reputation for being difficult to work with. Not everyone appreciated her input, and it frequently led to behind-the-scenes tension.
And sometimes I had directors or producers or writers who would welcome that and invite that once they saw that I was able to offer that. And sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, "We just hired you to be an actor."
That brings us to It Ends With Us. What was supposed to be a celebratory premiere quickly turned into a disaster. When Justin Baldoni was asked if he'd return for the sequel, It Starts With Us, instead of giving a simple yes or no, he threw major shade, saying, "I think Blake Lively is ready to direct."
Right now, the ball is in Justin's court. His production team currently owns the rights to the follow-up book, It Starts With Us.
Would you be willing to entertain pulling double duty again in the future?
You have to ask me in a little while. I think Blake Lively's ready to direct. That's what I think.
And get this, the rest of the cast backed him up. They all jumped in, hyping up Blake like she was the only one who mattered. It was embarrassing. What was supposed to be Justin's moment turned into all about her. Then, the accusations started rolling in. Suddenly, rumors spread that Justin Baldoni had been sued for being too touchy on set, making people uncomfortable.
Blake Lively is suing Justin Baldoni for her co-star and director for sexual harassment.
But here's where it gets really messy when these allegations surfaced. Not a single cast member stood by Justin. In fact, they unfollowed him on social media. Even Colleen Hoover, the author of It Ends With Us, sided with Blake. And the irony? Blake didn't even read the book.
Okay, not gonna lie, this is probably the funniest part of what gets revealed in Justin Baldoni's lawsuit is that Blake Lively never even read It Ends With Us. She never read the book. She didn't read it. She has no idea. Which is just hilarious that she fought so hard for it. And like, how stupid must Colleen Hoover feel right now, considering she blindly just took Blake Lively's side?
And who was behind all of this? You already know Blake Lively. Her influence over the cast was so strong that when she turned against Justin, they all followed. She used that power to push forward her lawsuit against him, completely shutting him out. She poisoned the cast against Justin, hijacked the movie, took all the credit, and then filed a lawsuit against him. But the most shocking part? On the day of the premiere, Justin and his family were reportedly locked in the basement while Blake and Ryan Reynolds stood front and center, posing with the cast like everything was perfectly fine. Now that is beyond outrageous.
But Jenny Slate, allegedly, does not want to be involved in this mess at all. And if she rejects the offer to be made an actual plaintiff in the case, which seems likely, they're likely going to subpoena her anyway and just include her testimony or her as evidence, because she allegedly has had some very bad experiences with Justin Baldoni in regard to harassment or being made to feel uncomfortable on.
Let's pause for a second. How did no one question why the director of the movie wasn't there? How did no one care? Instead, they all played along, smiling for the cameras while Justin was being completely erased from his own film. And if you think that's bad, wait until you hear about Jenny Slate. She played Justin's sister in the movie, yet instead of standing by him, she sided with Blake. She even went as far as to claim that none of the allegations against Blake were true.
Justin is sharing photos as part of the countersuit that he filed against the Gossip Girl alum seeking $400 million of him, quote, being held with his family in the basement.
And here's the kicker, when Jenny was asked to be a plaintiff in the case, she refused. But guess what? That refusal doesn't mean much, because she's about to be subpoenaed.
She instantly, when Blake Lively filed her complaint, did not mince words. She didn't try to make it seem like she wasn't picking a side. She strongly picked Blake Lively's side. This was a statement she released. She said, "As Blake Lively's castmate and friend, I voice my support as she takes action against those reported to have planned and carried out an attack on her reputation. Blake is a leader, loyal friend, and a trusted source of emotional support for me and so many who know and love her."
Whether she likes it or not, Jenny will have to talk. And if she was lying to protect Blake, things are about to get very messy. People are now calling Blake Lively a cancer in Hollywood, spreading toxicity, turning people against each other, and making everything about herself. But this time, it's her career on the chopping block. And once Hollywood decides they're done with you, you're done. Blake has a long history of clashing with people, causing tension on set, and taking all the spotlight. Now that the truth is finally coming out, it's hard to imagine any director or producer wanting to work with her again. But trust me, this is far from over. More tea is about to spill, and when it does, Blake might not be able to recover. Stay tuned, because this drama is just getting started.